Hello.
Grandmaster J.
Brother Ebro. Shalom, my brother.
How you doing?
I'm
Good day to you, sir. Thanks for taking the time.
It's always a pleasure to talk to another brother, you know what I mean? Ebro, can you hear me? Sound like you're going in and out, bro.
Sorry, I was putting my earphones in so I could hear you a little bit better.
Is that better?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I can hear you just fine, brother. Shalom to you this morning. Shalom.
Yo, shalom, respect, sir. Yo, man, I wanted to first I love the work y'all doing, and they had asked me to do an interview with you, and I was kind of like, I don't think everything is for mainstream consumption. I'm not one of those people that want to run and do an interview all the time, especially about real things for our people. And so I wanted to have a conversation with you, just to let you know that I love how y'all showing up, and it seems like the organization is there.
Absolutely. I mean, and I appreciate the fact that you were intelligent enough, my brother, to understand, like you said, mainstream consumption. When you see something happening that's been talked about for over 60 years, and then you see it actually happen, that can catch some people off guard, but they have to understand that it's not happening in a vacuum. We have to be organized. We have to be on code, and we have to learn. Nobody's going to come out the gate being an expert. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I said, I understand it's a learning process, but it doesn't mean that we have to hurry up and get it right at one time, because the enemy is not going anywhere. We're still abiding by the Constitution. We're still operating within the law. And, people want to focus on the negative, but they want to ignore the historical of what's going on. So I haven't
actually in my world seen negative about what you guys have been, what I saw in Atlanta and what I saw in Louisville. I haven't seen a lot of negative. So, my biggest thing was, when we have grown-ups, black men showing up in force, to make sure that our communities feel like they, have support, and they have people who are not just showing up to scream and holler and stomp and
right,
showing up to say, listen, we recognize that there is an abuse taking place. We are here to make sure that abuse doesn't take place, and that protocols are followed. I'm not a person who thinks that's a public discussion all the time, unless it's time for that. And so I just wanted to make sure that, I got on the phone with you, and because, the needs of what's going on with the community in Louisville, that's a conversation for Louisville. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The needs of what's going on in Atlanta, and what needs to take place there for that community, that's a conversation where somebody like myself needs to just listen. I'm not in Atlanta, and I'm not in Louisville, and I just wanted to get on the line with you and just say, if there's anything that I can do to support y'all, from what I can see, everything is being handled the correct way. I'm nothing but a phone call away.
Ebro, I appreciate that, my brother, and I'm gonna tell you like this, man. It's a beautiful thing what we're seeing, with the look on these people's faces when we come into their cities, the look of relief. I'm talking about people in their 80s and 90s that come out with a tear in their eyes saying, I thought I would leave this world and never see brothers and sisters stand up again. So And the reception has been, I can't even begin to describe the love, my brother. I mean, the love, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's really not about us. It's what we've inspired. You know what I'm saying? And the way that it's being presented. So like I said before, I'm glad to hear you say that, because I've been looking at certain individuals, that's been real quiet, that could, put some weight behind this whole thing. But some people like to play the wait and see game. That's okay. We still gonna try to get out here and try to do something about the pain that we're seeing on our streets, on what's happening with us as a people, irregardless of our differences. We still are being affected all one and the same. So somebody had to stand up.
And I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said our differences too, because as you go out and you speak, and wherever the camera's gonna get thrown in your face, and they're gonna ask you all types of questions about this one and that one. This isn't about politics. This isn't about religious or spiritual agreements. This is about protecting black and brown bodies. It's about protecting communities that have been abused by white supremacy, the white supremacist system, right? And white supremacy comes in all forms and fashions. It comes from Democrats and Republicans. It comes from Catholics and Protestants and Jews and Christians, and it comes from everywhere. You know what I mean?
Bro, I'm gonna have to have you open up for me. You're gonna have to open up for me before I step to the mic, okay? Because you're saying exactly what we're trying to get across to folks, that you have to look at it that way. Because if you don't, you're gonna find out that the way that they keep us ineffective is by highlighting our differences and making us fight over the thing. Right. When you stop and think, that's what makes us unique, is our differences. That's what makes us so colorful, so unpredictable, is our differences. They don't flip the script on us. So to get their attention, to bring things back to center, sometimes you got to send a stronger message. You understand what I mean? And not only that, let me be honest with you. That's not all we doing. We're not just, we sending the message, yes. But just look at what you saw in Stone Mountain. What you saw in Stone Mountain was us responding to a threat against all of us. Let's just be honest. That's really what it was. But what you saw in Louisville was us being diplomatic, yet putting pressure on the leadership that we want an answer. And if the sign waving and the rainbows don't get your attention, maybe these AR-15s and these 308s will get your attention. So you'll do what you need to do, but don't understand, this is not for show. You understand what I'm saying? We really mean what we're saying right now. So to see brothers, I'm talking grown men, grown women, young and old, say we've had enough, get together so that we can overcome our differences, so we can start to march down the road to unity. And that's what it's all about, my brother. And that's what the NFAC is for. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. That's what we want the whole world to know. And
I haven't heard any negative, brother. I'll be honest with you. Clearly when black men show up and we've seen this before in history. Look, I was born in Oakland, California, so I know.
Word. Okay, so we ain't say less. Look, brother, I'm glad to have you in my corner. I'm definitely gonna lift you up, man. We got to do something else, bro. We got to do more than just talk about it. So if you want to put something together, you want to cooperate, let's build. And let's go ahead and put something out there, because there's a lot. Like I said, we're in front of it right now. We're on the train. I got international alliances now, because like you said, this problem is universal. It's not just here in the States.
That's right.
It's in different places. It just has different manifestations, but the common denominator is the same. So the folks in Haiti, Jamaica, all down through South Africa, everywhere.
Grandmaster, Brother Jay, man, just make sure, like they always do, going to try to bait y'all into something about politics. Mm-hmm. It's not about politics. Mm-hmm. It's not about politics. It's not about what your religious path is. Mm-hmm. It's not about that. Mm-hmm. It's about a white supremacy system that has taken advantage of and abused and black bodies for too long. Mm-hmm. Because it's easy for us to our ignorant, and I mean that in the truest sense of the word, not knowing, not having the information, because the white supremacist system that we have been under has not allowed us to have access to the information
Correct.
over an extended period of time.
Correct.
That lack of knowledge gets us wrapped up in these other distractions.
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is, we are trying to make sure that our children get an education and are mentally healthy and physically healthy enough to participate in this economy so we can build wealth and provide for our families over an extended period of time. It don't have nothing to do with a political affiliation. It don't have nothing to do with none of that other shit.
Let me tell you like this. Let me tell you like this, Ebro. It's like this, bro. It's like I look at it this way: that in order to be effective, to wage this battle or to lead this effort or to even get out there and get the process started, you have to make sure that you have a little bit of all of those things that you touched on. So I look at it this way. If you know something about the military, you know something about politics, you know something about corporate America, you know something about our pastime hobbies and so forth, you know something about the culture, you have all the building blocks to go out and intelligently maneuver through this minefield. Like you said, be conscious of the politics. I'm a former presidential candidate. Trust and believe. I know the pitfalls and the structure, and I know the truth of the game behind the curtain of the matrix. So I already know better than to let the NFAC fall into that category. That's one of the key reasons we don't accept donations right now. No one is going to buy an interest in this effort. No one. We're actually doing Claude Anderson with group economics that we practice within the organization. The bigger the organization gets, the more money the organization got because everybody's pouring into it. Therefore, no one can own us because most people don't realize debt is slavery, whether you know it or not. So when you owe them, I'm gonna put $100 million behind your movement, but now you got to do what I say. You got to let people in that I say. We got to change we got to change your program. We're not doing that. We coming in like you said. We focused on the mission, and we staying on course. No matter what happens, we're not gonna stop. We'll just get better as we go. You got to realize that there's a lot of people that they're comfortable in their captivity, my brother, and because they're comfortable in it. What they'll do is they'll resist something like this, but they know that change is inevitable. So again, my brother, I thank you because you're reading my mind. I'm reading your mind. We both talking the same line, and that lets me know that we both come from the same line of people where we understand it's not just this group over here based on religion. It's not just this group over here based on their political affiliation. It's not just this group over here, I hate to say it, based on just their sexual orientation. It's everybody. And this is everybody. It's a melanin thing. So if you're in the melanin crew, then it applies to you. Let me say it again. If you're in the melanin crew, it applies to you. So I can sit there, understand what I'm saying? So I can sit there and tell people that if we all get together like we used to be, in spite of our different economic patterns or whatever, and focus on this one goal, one thing at a time, we knock them down. We're going to get somewhere. But right now, we just been sitting around talking for 60 years. Just talking. A lot of good talking, a lot of good round tables, but we just been talking. So we got to start walking. And that's what we're doing right now. Love you, brother. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. And I'll be in touch again for us to keep building.
I expect to hear from you. We got some other things coming up, and it's going to get bigger as we go. And I would love to see you at the table, my brother, so that we can actually keep the voice going out to the people, because we don't really have black media no more. You know that. That's all gone. We got so it's up to us to feed the population the right focus so they don't end up walking.
All you got to do is have your team, because once again, I want to say it again. The reason I didn't have you on the radio to have this conversation is, and this is my personal opinion, you as the leadership of an entity showing up, if it was up to me, I wouldn't even let people talk to you.
Why not?
I say that because you're the organizer. You're the catalyst. You're the energy. You're the central figure, right? The organizing principle. The face of it, the person that you allow to speak to the media, those things, that should be someone else. That way the power structure isn't accessible. Let me speak to that from this perspective. We've done a deep study, and we've learned our lessons from Operation COINTELPRO. We've learned our lessons from Operation Black Messiah.
We've learned our lessons from a lot of these base psychological psyops programs that the government likes to run, not only against other regimes, but against its own people. And since the NFFC is a brand new baby, you know, it still got on them white shoes that show you, but he don't have no ankle support yet. That the secrecy, the guarding of the secrecy of our members is tantamount to us making sure that we open as few doors of infiltration as possible, while at the same time we're behind the scenes. Let me finish. We're behind the scenes vetting out individuals and readying people that I can step back and they can step forward. But as of right now, like he says, he doesn't give vision without provision. He gave the vision to me. I'm giving it to other people as we build the provision. I won't always be the face, but right now to maintain complete control. Because like you said, we're still growing. We're going through growing pains and things happen. We can't have any disagreements anywhere, and we can't have anyone knowing who these people are. I'm going to be honest with you. I have been questioned by ABC News, CBS, and they asked me repeatedly, so how many members are you and who are your members? See, I'm not giving you that intel. Right, it's not important. Just understand what our message is. That when we show up, we come to do that work or we come to talk to y'all. You don't need to pull IDs or none of that. If you had to pull IDs, we wouldn't have had to be here. But since now we here, you don't want to check IDs. We want to check the issue. And the issue is what's going on. I'm going to leave you with this right here, my brother. The work that we did down in Louisville. A lot of people don't even really know all that happened because they got so caught up in one thing that they don't know that 25 minutes after we gave the speech on the City Hall that the Adjutant General had to issue a statement because everybody was on him like, well, do you agree with these cats? Are you going to respond to their cats? They don't put you on the clock. What's happening? He had to come out and say something. And he did. Yeah, it was a great conversation we had with him. We're looking forward to da-da-da-da. But what he was really saying was, I heard you. Okay? That's right. And that's the whole idea. When you chanting and singing and walking around in goddamn circles, letting off balloons and painting streets, they don't hear you. But when you show up like Malcolm X did.
Let those people do that too.
We let them do that. No, we let them do that. We let them do that. Matter of fact, they was out there with us. But when it's time for the work, see, it's levels to this. It's levels to this. Okay, that didn't work. Move out the way. Let us try this. Don't tell us not to try this. No, we want to do it another way. Bruh, ain't nothing worked yet. People still dying in the streets, bruh. So we're going to try this way. And if this don't work, y'all come up with something else. But right now, I don't see nobody proposing nothing else. So we here on the scene, holding it down for our people, protecting our communities, teaching people how to self-police, and trying to stand up some of the tenets that the Black Panthers put down to improve the black condition. You say black color, however you want to call it. But at the end of the day, melanated people need some help, and we stepping up to help ourselves.
There you go.
Love you, brother. Thank you for your time, Ebro. If you need me, bro, you know my number. You got the direct line to the bat phone. And if I need you, I'm going to consider the same.
That's right. I'm right here.
It's all love, baby. I'm going to wish you a peaceful day. Shalom. I look forward to talking to you again. I salute you, Ebro.
Peace, sir. Thank you very much. Shalom.
Peace and love. Shalom.